Have you worked out today? What did you do? CrossFit, Pilates, yoga, weights, cardio, boxing, or let me guess, HIIT or high intensity interval training? These time-efficient workouts are in vogue. They're short, they're intense, they can be done at home between Zoom calls while cooking meals. All you need is 7 minutes for impressive results. How does that work? What's the cheat code? The word is intensity. HIIT requires you to work out at maximum capacity. You must be out of breath by the end of it. Everyone is doing it. These high-intensity workouts are supposed to be good for your weight, excellent for your shape. But are they good for your body? Can too much intense workout kill you? It can. So listen to this episode of Gravitas Plus very carefully. Hello and welcome. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. We live in times where workout routines have become a part of our everyday conversation. Have you tried Pilates? I can do 50 push-ups. What about you? Did you check out the new workout challenge? Why don't you call my gym trainer instead? Questions like these are normal. Posting fitness videos is normal. Gym selfies are a thing. Just like taking photos of our cycle routes and workout playlists. And there's nothing wrong with it. Fitness is good for us. Regular exercise controls our weight. It prevents strokes, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, depression, anxiety, several types of cancers, arthritis. It also improves mood, boosts energy, helps us sleep better. The list is long. In short, working out helps our mental and physical health, and we all know this. But do you know, when overdone, workout can be deadly. For starters, it can lead to loss of menstruation in women. It can also cause eating disorders, also osteoporosis or the loss of bone minerals. This is known as the female athlete triad. In men, intense exercise can lead to decreased libido. It raises the risk of fractures, affects our heart, tendons, ligaments, also damages our immune system. And I know that sounds ironical. During the lockdown, a lot of us signed up for online fitness classes. We wanted to stay fit, build our immunity, and ward off the Wuhan virus. So some of us worked out more than usual in the hope of successfully fighting COVID or any other virus that comes our way. Wrong, says science. It talks about a 72-hour open window. Basically, after every intense exercise, our immunity is impaired for up to 72 hours. And during this time period, it becomes easier for bacteria and viruses to enter our bodies and infect us. Now, what qualifies as an intense exercise? Well, that depends on a lot of things, like your age. It's a game of numbers. So first of all, we need to calculate our maximum heart rate. How do we do that? By subtracting our age from 220. So if you're 30 years old, your maximum heart rate is 190 BPM or beats per minute. On an average, our resting heart rate is 60 to 100 beats per minute. Now, if you want to become physically fit, aim for exercising at 60 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. And this changes if you're a smoker or if you have diabetes or health problems. Then your doctor might advise you to aim for 50% of your maximum heart rate when working out. Exercising at 70 to 85% qualifies as vigorous. Intense is when you exercise at 80 to 95% of your maximum heart rate. And it starts becoming dangerous when you do it for a long time. A study conducted on recreational hockey players found that those who continuously exceeded their maximum heart rates while playing had an increased risk of cardiac events. And this may also help explain why several athletes have collapsed on the pitch. Danish footballer Christian Eriksen is only the latest. Popular culture tells us that you won't have heart problems if you eat right, if you work out and you stay fit. Well, Eriksen did all of these. He also had a dedicated team of health experts. He also underwent regular health checkup. Yet he had a cardiac arrest. You see, while the world markets intense workouts and sweaty cardio blasts and celebrates pushing limits, no one tells us what certain workout and training regimes do to our bodies in the long run. We spoke to doctors before putting this episode together for you, and here's what they said. Our bodies are not machines. While exercising is a must, there is a limit to human endurance, and that limit must be respected. The moment you push it, your body gives way. What about HIIT? Is it advisable? The verdict from doctors is a clear no, not unless you're a professional athlete. Researchers in Germany studied participants mostly in their 60s. 40% of them were physically active 2 to 4 times a week. 30% were active more than 4 times a week, and 10% rarely or never did any exercise. Well, researchers found that the physically inactive participants were twice as likely to have a heart attack or a stroke. And those who worked out 4 times a week were also twice as likely to die of a heart attack or stroke. Another study was conducted in Sweden. More than 44,000 men were sampled, all between the ages of 45 and 79. And researchers found that men who did intense exercise more than 5 hours a week were 19% more likely to develop an irregular heartbeat by the age of 60 than those who exercised less than 1 hour a week. And the men who did less intense exercise like cycling or brisk walking for an hour every day were 13% less likely to develop an irregular heartbeat than those who did not exercise at all. A study carried out on marathon runners found that even after finishing extreme running events, their blood samples had biomarkers associated with heart damage. Moral of the story? Training helps, straining backfires. Do not over-exercise. But how much is too much exercise? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, says adults should get 5 hours of moderate exercise a week. And on 2 or more days, they should work all major muscle groups: legs, hips, back, abdomen, chest, shoulders and arms. Well, what if you want to work out more? Depends on how much more. Going for a swim is fine, going for a walk is also fine, but straining yourself is not fine. People who train intensely for more than an hour every day often develop what's called an athlete's heart. Their heart remodels itself. It becomes bigger in size, its walls thicken. This allows the heart to pump more blood per heartbeat. And this is seen as the heart's adaptive measure. An athlete's heart is not a medical condition in itself, but it potentially makes you more vulnerable to heart-related problems. And this includes heart attacks, cardiac arrests, and strokes. High-intensity workouts also lead to various gastronomical disorders like inflammatory bowel disease and irritable bowel syndrome. So who will tell us all of this? Most of our so-called fitness coaches are not certified. In most parts of the world, there is no restriction on using the title of personal trainer or fitness coach. Anyone can call himself or herself that. Any Tom, Dick and Harry is allowed to prescribe a workout regime, a diet, supplements. Every second person on the internet today is a fitness influencer. You see, a personal transformation or X number of hours spent in the gym does not substitute a course and certification on health and fitness. Think about it. Will you take a diabetes medicine prescribed by a layman just because he or she is also diabetic? Our bodies are different, and so are their problems and needs. What works for me may be disastrous for you. It needs a qualified trainer to tell that difference. Most trainers, by the way, do not even have an understanding of how to approach fitness holistically. Most trainers do not even know or realize that a woman, for instance, needs to do a little different type of a squat than a man in order to protect her lower back because her pelvis tends to tilt more than a man's. These are basics. Basics that are lost in today's world where instructors and clients prefer focusing on intensity rather than form, where quick results are the mantra and intense workouts twice a day is cool. You know what else is seen as cool? Trainers using abuse or body shaming as motivation and exercise addiction. You must have heard people taking pride in being addicted to exercise. Well, first of all, there's a difference between exercising regularly and being addicted to it. Addiction of any kind is bad. It comes with withdrawal symptoms. People with exercise addiction are often unable to cut down on workout. And they start feeling anxious or exhausted if they miss workout. And this is not something that you should aim for. One report says at least 1 million people in the US suffer from exercise addiction. So let me put this on record now. I'm not anti-workout. In fact, I'm very much for it. I try to do it myself regularly. The point of this episode is to spread awareness about the flip side of excessive workout. Let me also put on record that there is no substitute to exercise, to being physically active. So if you do not work out yet, start now. Start with 2 to 3 workout sessions a week. If you're recovering from the Wuhan virus, then consult your doctor first. Find out when you can start walking, running, jogging, doing yoga or swimming. Find out what should be off limits for your post-COVID recovery. This virus is complicated, and there is no one-size-fits-all advice for post-COVID workout. But do remember, when it comes to working out in general, moderation is the magic word.